All right, good afternoon, everybody. This is the Enterprise Concerns track. Up next, we have Alexander Polyakov, who's going to be giving a talk, A Crushing Blow at the Heart of SAP's J2EE Engine. Alexander is the CTO of ERP Scan. He is the writer of multiple white papers devoted to information security research and has authored the book Oracle Security from the Eyes of the Auditor, Attack and Defense. So everybody, please join me in welcoming Alexander to the stage.
Hello. Hello. Hello, everybody. So today I'll tell you about my research in the field of SAP J2EE engine security. So it will be just the first of the multiple presentations about this area. So if you want to see more, you can follow me in other conferences. So my name is Alexander, and I'm a CTO of ERP Scan company. So I also head of the Digital Security Research Group, which is a subdivision of our company focused on the research in the field of business application systems and their security, and also architect of our security scanner, which is called ERP Scan. And the company is focused on the research and development in ERP security and mostly on the SAP security. So we also provide the free tools for the penetration testing for SAP solutions. And we also have a good partnership with SAP and publish many of vulnerabilities. So this talk will be, first of all, I will talk about J2EE engine architecture in the SAP. Then I will briefly show you some of the simple attacks. And then I will show the really interesting vulnerability, how I was trying to find it in all these things that was done. And then also at the end, I will show the tool which can be used for securing the SAP engine from this founded vulnerability and the other vulnerabilities. So how many of you doesn't know what is this SAP? Yes, so that's great. Everybody know what it is. So this is the most popular application for the business engine for the enterprise business applications, and it's installed almost in every company. So, and this is the heart of the business of every company. So if you can get access to the SAP, you probably have access to all data in the company. And what do we know about the J2EE engine? Is the first, SAP applications have some of the SAP applications, like ERP or CRM and other, are based on the ABAP engine. So it's applications which can be used to automate the business processes. But the applications which are based on the Java engine, they are mostly created for the integrating other applications. So, for example, the SAP portal application, it can be used to create the single sign-on to every business application in your company. It can be SAP or other business application. So, if you get access to the SAP portal, for example, you can get access to the other business applications. So it's hard. And also, SAP Solution Manager it's kind of domain controller. It's like a domain controller for the SAP products. So if you get access to the SAP Solution Manager, you probably can get access to all the SAP servers which are connected. So if you're talking about ABAP engine, many administrators are focused on security of ABAP engine. And also penetration testers are mostly focused on attacking the ABAP engine. And it's really becoming more secure after my talks and after the Mariano's talks. But the the hackers, if hackers really want to attack you, they will find the easier ways. So the Java engine is one of the black holes of the SAP security, which was not completely discussed yet. So the Java engine is based on the SAP NetWeaver J2EE engine application server. It's just another one application server. It's kind of the Apache Tomcat, but the 100 times harder and more complex. So basically, it's the same like Apache Tomcat. And from attacker's perspective, we are interested in the remote connection using the web browser, and also we're interested in the remote connection using the P4 protocol, which is used by the visual administrator. This is a tool for the administrating the Java engine. So if we're talking about the security of Java engine, we need to talk a little bit of the main features like the remote control, authentication, and data source and encryption and other things. So in SAP, you can do the same things using the different methods. So it's just, for example, for remote control, the Java engine, you can use the visual administrator. It's a client-server tool, but it is a kind of old tool. In new versions, it is deinstalled from the engine. You also can use the NV8 NetWeaver administrator. It's a web administration tool. And you also can use the J2EE Telnet, but it is you cannot do all the things, but some of the administration things you can do with the Telnet engine. And there are also many other tools that can be used to make some things some administration things, but they also focused on the HTTP or P4 or Telnet protocol. Authentication is one of the most interesting things. So it can be the declarative authentication and the programmatic. So declarative is like in every Java-based engine. It's based on the web XML file, and the programmatic authentication is based on the user management engine API. So some of the applications like WebDyn Pro and Portal iViews are based on the programmatic authentication, but the Java web applications can use the programmatic or declarative too. So as we are talking about the declarative authentication, here's the example of the sample web XML file where we can say for example, to the URL admin/star, the user which has role name admin can do only the get, post, and delete request. So it is an example of how the role-based access can be created using the declarative authentication. And later we will come back to this example and see what can we do to bypass this. Another one thing is a data source. It is where the data about the users and roles and groups are stored. So it can be stored in the database. It's usually done in a small environment. It also can be in the LDAP engine, but it's really used in the really big environments. And it also can be stored in ABAP engine. It is mostly when, for example, in a solution manager application, all user data stored in the ABAP engine, and the Java engine is just have a read-only access to this data and can show you this. So for connection to the ABAP engine, it can be two different roles. For the communication user which connects from Java to ABAP engine. And the one role is only read-only, and the second role can be read and write access. So if the read and write access is used, you can get access to ABAP stack by hacking the Java stack. Another thing is user management. It can be you can manage the users using the web tool UMIE. You also can manage users using Visual Administrator, and using SPML is a special API for the identity management tools. And there also have some other ways to manage the user management. As for the encryption, here's the list of the default ports which are open when you install the SAP Java Engine. So by default, all these ports don't use the SSL or any other, so you can easily snip the traffic and get access to almost all data. Also, yeah. So for securing this, you need to. Most of these ports are not necessary, so you can easily close them using the firewall. So let's begin our the main part. So from the attacker's perspective, the NetWeaver Java Engine is a couple of open ports and the web applications. So you can try to attack open ports using the to brute forcing the passwords by fuzzing the protocol, by intercepting the protocol, and you also can attack the web applications. So the first vulnerability that was found, it's the insecure encryption in P4 protocol. So this attack can be used if you are inside the company. And P4 is a protocol for connecting the visual administrator for connecting to the visual administrator. So by default, all data is transmitted in the clear text, but the password is encrypted. So when I first connect to the server, I was interested how this encryption is working. So here's the example of the intercepted packet. And after attending some of the packets, I found that this is the place where the encrypted passwords are stored. So then I started to research how this encryption is going on. So I just tried to the first easy ways. So I send the password A and look how it's encrypted. Then I create the password B. They create password AA, then create password BB, and look what's the differences between this the hashes, so between the encrypted passwords. So the first of all, I understand that this is really encryption, and it's not the hash. The second is the key is have a static key, and it's probably stored on server because there is no special random data in the packets. And also the length of the encrypted password depends on the length of the password. So it looks like some kind of base 64, but the SAP always creates something special. So they will not use the base 64. They create something like base 64, but the special one. So here's first of all, I was trying to understand this algorithm, and when I was tired with the paperwork, I'm just thinking, why not to decompile the Java class which is doing this stuff? So and I found this couple of strings. So It is all algorithm. So it's basically a secret char mask, which is then every symbol is created by the previous symbol and in the power of the data. So it's just simple masking algorithm. It's just not the encryption itself. It's like a base 64. So basically I take this code and create the decryption tool. So here now I will show you how it works. So first of all, we'll try to connect to the server. Using the password BlackHat. Yes, but this is wrong password though, but it doesn't matter. We just want to intercept this. So here is the start of the password. And this number is the length of the password, but you need to multiply it by 2 because one number is one symbol is two symbols, became 2 symbols. So So here is this password, encrypted password I just copied before. So here is the decrypted part. The password is BlackHat. So it's working very easy. You can run the password, this tool with the decrypt, and you give the encrypted password, so you can see that this password is the same, AAC8, AAC8, and etc. So in decrypted, it will be the BlackHat.
Question.
Yeah?
You're able to capture the hash. That is the hash, right?
It's not the hash. It is just you know, the base 64, which is kind of encryption with the known algorithm. So it's like XOR. So we know the key, and by knowing the key, by knowing the algorithm, we can decrypt this. So as for the prevention, it's very easy. You need to use the SSL. Okay, let's go and see the more interesting attacks from the internet, because inside the company it's fun, but from the internet it's more funny. First of all, a number of the Google hacking dorks to find the SAP servers in the internet. The first one is IRG Portalis, was known before, but the others are new, so you can find more SAP servers using these strings. Next is, after you found this, you can use some kind of information disclose vulnerabilities. First of all, you can find the information about the version and the release of the application. And also, we have found that the vulnerabilities that can disclose the information about the logs and traces using from the web server, and also have the one vulnerability that can be used to scan ports in internal networks. So you can connect to the web server and scan internal network. And also the more interesting vulnerability, you can not only scan ports, you can also try to brute force user accounts in the internal networks. So if they use restrictions to the number of the password guesses, you can block the user by invalid attempts remotely. So it's just funny. But unfortunately, I cannot show the details before the SAPs will close these vulnerabilities. But I can show the example of the information disclose. Or it is one of the information disclosed. You can see the version of the SAP engine with the service pack. So you can use this for the future attacks. And another vulnerability is another application. It's business communication broker. It can be used also for getting the version of service pack. And you also can find the URL. It is internal IP address. So it also discloses the internal IP address. By using this vulnerability, you can use it in internal scanning. So as for prevention, you can install the SAP notes for the vulnerabilities, and also you need to install this every month because I will publish these vulnerabilities also. As for the cross-site scripting, it's just a list of the vulnerabilities that we found it during the last 2 years, and many of the cross-site scripting vulnerabilities are now just still patching by the SAP. So there are really about 100 of cross-site scripting vulnerabilities were found, and we are really tired to find this. So it's more hard to create an advisory and all this stuff than to find this. So it's not very interesting. Let's skip it. SMB relay. So to execute this, it is the Windows, the vulnerability, but to exploit this vulnerability, you need to have the SAP server based on the Windows, first of all. And second of all, you need to either you don't have a patch from the SMB relay vulnerability, or you have a SAP server based on the cluster. Because we found this interesting thing, that's the SMB relay patch is not working when you try to relay from one node of the cluster to another node of the cluster. Because it looks like the SMB relay from one server to another server, and there is no patch for the SMB relay from one server to another server. So if you have the SAP on the cluster, you can use the SMB relay. And also, we see many times that the same development infrastructure, for example, and test infrastructure use the same domain controller password and domain controller user. So if you hack the test infrastructure, you can relate to the development or production server. So here's the example of the real vulnerability in SAP. You can just click this link and install the SMB sniffer using the Metasploit or something. So you can easily relay this and get full access. Okay, so as for prevention, you need to also install the SAP node, and for the developers, you need to also, if you check for the any file, so you need to check also for the UNC parts. And okay, this vulnerability was patched by limiting access only to the special role. But you also can use this using the CSRF plus SMB relay. It's like the CSSR. You can just give this link to administrator, and if you click this, it also will be the SMB relay. So you also can, for example, create the HTML page with the image SRC, this link, and then you can upload it to the SAP portal, because in SAP portal every user can upload the documents So you can easily upload the document and name it as a special secret document. You can read this, and then when somebody clicks this, the assembly relay will work. As for the developers, in SAP have the CSRF protection API, so you need to use this if you're creating your own applications for the Java engine. And also for the administrators, just disable the unnecessary applications because there are so many of them. And as for the CSRF protection, SAP have the two possibilities. The first one is standard protection, which can be used for the simple get and post request. And also have the custom CSRF protection, which can be used for some kind of more special request, like a SOAP and something like that. So, but standard CSRF protection is recommended. So, and I was thinking how to bypass this protection, if it's really possible. And the first idea was just to find out the place where the CSRF protection is impossible. So, for example, it can be the remote API created for another application, so some kind of web service. And if you are working not with the user, you don't need to have a session. And if you don't have a session, you cannot create the CSRF protection because all requests are just request response. So there is no session. You just send in the SOAP request, for example. So, and I found some application which is called SPML. It is the API for the identity management systems. So it's, for example, you can integrate the SAP with identity management system, and identity management system have an internal protocol, SPML, with the commands to add new user, to add new role, and all kind of things. So it's working like by the calling a SOAP interface, which is connected to the UMIE, user management engine. So by calling this, by sending the SOAP request, you can to the special link, to the link at spml/spml service, you can send the SOAP request for doing many different things. For example, you can create objects like users, like roles, like anything. You can modify the users, the roles, etc. But the one problem, you need to have a special role. So it's this kind of an administration role, and the normal users don't have access, of course, to this application. But why not to use the cross-site request forgery using this tool? So first of all, you need to create the HTML page, which is creating the XML HTTP request with SOAP response for creating new user. And then you can upload this HTML page to the portal. And if somebody with the administrator rights will click it, you will have a new user created. So you can bypass the CSRF protection using the SPML. And it also, as for the prevention, you need to limit access to the SPML only for identity management servers, or really disable it if you don't use it. So next vulnerability is invoker servlet bypass. It was published by the SAP in their security recommendations, but there was no any special information. So the invoker servlet is created for the rapid calling servlets. If developer creates the software, he can use it for the calling for direct calling the servlet using the class name. So using this functionality, you can call any servlet even if it's not declared in WebXML. So here's an example of the WebXML file, and you have the URL. It's like an admin/critical, and you have a critical action inside the admin path, and you have the restrictions for the admin to only the GET request, to only the admin role. But if you invoker servlet can be called by this URL by /server/select/ the name of the class. So there is no restrictions here, and this is an example of the it's kind of it looks like a real example. So there is no restrictions to the /servlet. So even if you create the restrictions to the admin, where you store the links to the servlet class, you can bypass it by calling by direct calling to the class name. And we found that, and I want to say that in the SAP, for example, in default installation of the Java engine, there are about 500 little applications. So we just briefly look at this and found some real badly configured applications which are vulnerable to this attack. So we can bypass authentication and do some critical actions. As for the prevention, you need to install the latest patches, and then you will have a special option and enable invoker servlet globally, and you can disable all this functionality for all the application server. And also, if you want to use this functionality in some of this applications, you need to enable it using the special string. So we also create the tool which can be used to scan all the applications and default SAP application and also applications which can be created by your software for your programmers. And I will show you this in the end of the talk. But it's all was interesting, but I really wanted to find the vulnerability which can be used to hack all the SAPs. So it must be something independent from the operation system, independent from the version of SAP, independent from the user interaction. So it must be not the cross-site scripting and this kind of stuff. And also, if you're playing with the business applications, you need to know that memory corruption, buffer overflow vulnerabilities is not that you want it to have, because if you have, for example, the buffer overflow in SAP server, you need to have many versions of exploit for different platforms, for different versions, and to test this, you need to install all these versions, all this stuff. And for example, to install one SAP server, to properly install one SAP server, you can spend 1 week. So to install all the possible versions with all the possible operation systems, it can be 1 year. So, and also, if you will mistake in the exploit, you will crash the client's SAP server. You will have the really big problems. So you need to find something like an authentication bypass, which will work everywhere. And I found this. So how many of you doesn't know what is the web tampering? Okay, so this is it's kind of the dark horse, because it is not so popular vulnerability like cross-site scripting and SQL injection, but it's very dangerous. So, but I haven't seen any real-world examples before, so I've tried to find this in SAP, and I found it. And first of all, you need to have the security control that lists different HTTP verbs. And SAP have this. It have the web XML file. The second, you need to, this control will need to fail block verbs that are not listed. So it means that if you, I'll show it then. So here's the example. Here's the admin URL, and you see that the administrator role can get access to the admin using the GET request. But what if we use the head request? In reality, it can be it will be there is no head request in the restrictions. So if we will not have any role, we can use head request, and this is not disabled. So we can use head method instead of get if it's not declared, and that is the problem. So, but the real problem is that the SAP, as I was talking, have more than 500 different applications. And the problem was, first of all, find the application that don't have a head check in WebXML. The second of all, they need to intercept the head as like a get. Because the head is the same as the get, but you can't get the information about your request. So it's just executing like a get, but you don't see what is going on. And also, you can find something really critical, some kind of adding new user or deleting something. So after the first look, I found that potentially about the 40 applications miss the head check. So they are potentially vulnerable. And the problem was to check all those applications and find something that can be used for the real exploitation. So it is just a potential vulnerability, but to really exploit this, you need to find the place that will make some kind of critical action to bypass this. So the game begins, and I just started to find something, and I found one. The first was the integration directory application, and using this request, you can overwrite any file with the trash. So I don't know what exactly this web server is doing, but I noticed it can be used to write something to any file that you will put. So you just can use it for overwriting the profile file, and this be kind of the denial of service attack. And you also can, if you send this request, it can be used from the internet. So you can easily create the denial of service attack to any SAP server, which is can be seen from the internet. The second round, I found that it can be used also for the SMB relay attack, but unfortunately it cannot be done using the you can do this from the internet, but if you have internal access, you can execute this head request and install the SMB sniffer, so and also get access to the server. But but you need to have the windows only. But I wanted to find something more real. And I was really tired. I was really tired to find this way. And I was looking like this. And my girlfriend said, hey, you really need to do something. You need to find this, so you need to kill yourself. So, and I found this. It was some kind of secret interface for connection Java and ABAP engine. And the problem was there was no documentation for this interface, so it can be bypassed, but you don't know any special commands that can be executed. So by reversing this application, I found some commands that can be executed, but they mostly required the additional username and password. So you can log in, and then you should use the additional username and password. But some of them don't. So I found that it is possible to add any user to any existing group. So for example, if you don't have any user at all, you can find the portal with the guest access and assign to the guest user administrator access. So it will be total apocalypse because everybody will be the administrators. This vulnerability is still patching by SAP, so this is a 0-day. And I was thinking that this is, but this is all okay. And I found this. Sorry. Yeah. I was thinking that this is the best I can find, but when then we get the contract for the penetration testing for one of our clients for the SAP portal, and first of all I found that this vulnerability is really working on the client. It was cool because when you research something and you find the vulnerability, you think, no, okay, I found it in my test lab, but if it's really working. But when we get this contract, I just tried and it works. It was very cool. And the second is if you have the standalone Java engine, so Java engine without ABAP, you can do much more things than just assign user to a role. So you can create user, you can create role, you can assign user to a role. So you can do everything. So I know you want to see the demo. And I have prepared this. So let's assume that we are the attackers, and first of all, we want to find the SAP server. I'm feeling lucky. I want to find something. Yeah. So this is some company which use the SAP portal. Or we're trying to hack this. Okay, so script add user. So add user, the URL, the username BlackHat, and the password is, I don't know, it's like this. It seems it's ready. Yes, it's. So I need to change the password. It means that the user is created, but I need to change his default password. Okay. That is not all. Wait. So I have login, but there is no information here because I don't have any rights in the system. So add to group. So I will add this user to group administrators. It seems it's working. Come on. You need to log in. Okay. Yes. We're administrators. So, and
Johnny, la gente está muy loca. What the fuck?
okay. So it was a crushing blow. And for the prevention of this attack, for the previous attack, you need to install the SAP node. But for this attack, the SAP say that they are preparing the page for this. So it seems it will be ready this month. And also you can secure it by deleting all the HTTP methods from the declarative file. So if you don't list any methods, it will be like you deny all. So it's better to not list any methods at all than you just put the get. So really, in SAP have many special things for securing from the different attacks. But the problem is in the, for example, this attack can be done because of the users or the administrators doesn't know what is the web XML, and the programmers don't know what is the web XML. So it's kind of programmers think that web XML must be configured by administrators, and administrators think that it must be configured by the programmers. So here's the problem. So we try to help a little bit in all these things and develop the ERP-Scan WebXML check tool. And this is part of our commercial scanner, but it also can be downloaded for free. It will be posted on the website soon. So using this application, you can check the WebXML file for different problems. So it's not only the authentication bypass and invoker select. There are many other things like information disclosed using the error code. So it's checking for the error page if it exists or not. It's checking for the session configuration, for the cookie options, for the other different things. I will show it too. Here we run this. You can run this tool on your server, just giving the path of the web services, and it will search for WebXML file. And there's a list of the vulnerabilities for checking. And you also can use this tool remotely for. So you can map the NFS shard to your server and remotely check all these WebXML files for the security. But it's working not so fast because there are many files that need to be checked. But I can show the results. So here's the example. So here's the WebXML file of the application called. Here's the name of the application. So the first check, security error page was not found. So it is information disclosed. The second is there is a post restriction. So it potentially can be exploited by head or get. And also errors in the cookie configurations, the node is not found. So it's a list of all the possible, all the application that was stored. So 132 files was checked, and 49 have any kind of vulnerabilities and the possible problems. So you also can execute this for the special kind of attack. So for example, this scan is result for invoker select. So here's the node not found. It is trying to check if there is restrictions for /* and /select*. Because if there is no restriction for /* and /select*, you can bypass the invoker select. So it also have the potentially 22 vulnerable files. So as for conclusion, it's just the beginning of our research, and we have many other things that are still patching by SAP. So we will, in next talks, I'll talk about it. So for the researchers, if you really want to find something, you need to work hard, and you found this. And for others, for the developers and administrators and the GRC guys, just configure, patch, or ask somebody to help you. So as for the future work, I will make a similar presentation, but with the new things updated, because there's all the things that are posted to the SAP, they are patching. So when they will patch something, I will tell about this in the future conferences. Here's the list of the conferences where you can find the new stuff making by us. And also look at dckrg.com and you found some new information about the SAP security. And okay, if you have some questions, please feel free. I'll answer this. Unfortunately, I can't hear you. Is it completely what? This tool for WebXML scanner, is it free? And we will publish it in this week or next week, just when I arrive to my country, and create the website page to download this. Yeah. And also we have the commercial version, which can do many other things except this fully security scanning of the SAP.
What about the Perl script that you use to add a user? Perl script to add a user, and then add a user to the user script group? Is that going to be
It will be published after the SAP will create the patch, and then after the 3 months, because we have the special agreement with the SAP. We're working closely with them, so they need 3 months after the patch for companies to install this. So it looks like after 4 months you will see how to do this, or you can try to get yourself to found it. In this demo, it was targeted the bypass of web tampering bypass. Yeah. So in workers relate, we have some examples, but they are not so critical. So you cannot create user, but you can do some other interesting things. But in workers relate, it's like it is not fully researched by us. We just started in this area and found just a little number of vulnerabilities. So maybe next presentations we will found something more.
Those 4 servlets that you targeted, are they part of the default installation?
Yes, this servlet is in default installation. Yeah. So when we try to find if there are some servers in the internet is vulnerable, we create the scan, which is trying to just to find this servlet if it's installed or not, and it's about the half of the SAP servers which can be accessed from the internet are vulnerable. Because it's real statistics. Yep. Yeah. Okay, so thank you.